Yo, what's up? Me here with a concert review. I feel like I haven't done one of these in a long time. Squeeze me. I am here to review Summer Slaughter 2014, and yeah, I mean the lineup was pretty solid. I saw this in Philadelphia at the Trocadero, by the way. The lineup was solid. Morbid Angel, Dying Fetus, The Faceless, Thy Art Is Murder, Goat Whore, Origin, Decrepit Birth, Within the Ruins, Fallujah, and Boreworm. And so this year I felt the tour really got back to its roots of, a great death metal tour, along those lines. So that was definitely very cool. So, let's get into this. Boreworm was first band. I never heard of this band. I never listened to this band, but I'm going to check this fucking band out. They were really, really solid. They had some very gross, breakdown moments. They just had solid songwriting, great top-notch soloing. I mean, there's not much else I can say. They were just a great band. I felt they were a really good opener, and I feel like this is a band that, could have a very bright future in metal, which is fantastic. I really wish that they were selling their record. Maybe they had it. It was just not out on their merch table. I would have bought it, to be honest with you. So if you watch this, put your fucking CDs out on the table, bro. But they were really, really solid. Just great guitar work. I think that was the best part about them. And vocals were very, very good as well. Not much else to say about that. Check out Boreworm. They were a good band. Next was Fallujah. I saw Fallujah open up for the Black Dahlia murder when they headlined, and it was Skeleton Witch and Fallujah and Noisem. And Fallujah was great then. They were even better now. They played 4 songs. They played Carved from Stone and Sapphire off of The Flesh Prevails. They played Cerebral Hybridization and The Dead Sea. So overall, I mean, that's some of their best material. So I would have liked to maybe hear a couple extra songs, but time restrictions. They only had like 20 minutes, I think, which kind of sucks to drive for hours and hours, spend all that money to play for 20 minutes. Guess you gotta do what you gotta do. They were fantastic. I thought, a lot of the newer material I thought went over really well. The ambience, was there, and it was pretty cool. And it was just very cool watching them play it's always great watching them play their songs because, they're a technical death metal band, but they have very solid songwriting, in my opinion, and so it just goes over well. It's fun to watch them. I thought the vocals sounded great. They just overall were just so much better, and they had the crowd going a little bit more, and were just a lot better. And I feel this band's just going to get better and better as time goes on, as they write more records, as they tour more, and well deserving. I feel they deserve to be on this tour. They were a great opener. One of the opening bands to the tour, and they were fantastic. Yeah, I mean, the guitar work was top notch. I mean, that's the thing, watching them play like Sapphire and Carved from Stone, just some of the wicked, fucking taps and just insane stuff. It's just great, and especially in Cerebral Hybridization, that song really got everyone headbanging. And that middle section, where they bring back the opening riff and then the drums just kick in, it's kind of slow, and you just this is awesome, and you really feel it live, and it's great. So Fallujah's fantastic. I highly recommend you go check them out live. Next was Within the Ruins. I'm not going to say too much because, to be honest, they bored the fucking shit out of me. They just felt a little out of place, I guess. They're just, to me, they're not heavy enough to be on this tour. And that's, they need another guitar player. They really do, because they open up with Gods Amongst Men, and that in their guitar player they have now was playing that really weird lead and stuff. It's this would sound so much better with another guitar player, at least touring. I don't care if you fucking write one with another, write records with another guitar player. Just touring, you need another guitar player because it just sounded empty. And you can tell a lot of people were just kind of standing there watching them, I felt. They sounded okay. I mean, it's not that they were absolutely terrible. It's just, I don't know, it just felt like they weren't bringing it as much as some of the other bands. Like, my date was the second to last date of the tour, and it was just kind of like, I'm tired of touring. And there's another band later on that I will discuss that even further. But Within the Ruins were okay. I mean, if you're into Within the Ruins, you probably would have dug their show. They played Gods Amongst Men. They played Feeding Frenzy. They ended with the calling card off of their new record. I think they played Invader versus maybe both. I don't fucking remember actually. But they were okay. Some of the parts, the more bouncy parts were kind of cool, and you were like, yeah, bro. So, Within the Ruins are okay. They just announced a tour with Born of Osiris, Die Hard Is Murder, Betraying the Martyrs, and Era. So if you really dig Within the Ruins, they're coming back to all the big cities again this fall. So there you go. Check that out. Next was Decrepit Birth. And Decrepit Birth I've been wanting to see for a long time. They were fantastic. I thought they were just really top notch. It was kind of funny. Their intro was playing, and they were all standing up there smoking weed. And I don't know if they do that every show because this was my first time seeing them live. But I was just like, damn, they're blazing it on stage. It's pretty crazy. And then while they're playing like the first song, their singer's still just fucking blazing and stuff. It was kind of funny. But I felt like the more, I guess, their high kicked in, the more energy and stuff they got because they just got kind of fucking crazy. And they were a good band. I mean, they are a good band. They played stuff kind of throughout their whole 3 albums, and so that was definitely very cool. I think focusing more heavily on Polarity. This band needs to get a new record out, man. I'm serious. I'm tired of listening to the same shit over again. I mean, it's been 4 years since they put out Polarity, and I loved that record, and I want new Decrepit Birth. Anyways, their live show was great. I thought their vocalist was great. He sounded great. They were just overall, they had a good sound, and they were tight, and they played good songs. They played fucking Metatron, I think. I love that song. So yeah, Decrepit Birth ruled. I would see them again. Highly recommend you check them out too. Who is fucking next? Origin. I didn't really pay attention to Origin, to be honest with you. I think the more I listen to this band, the more I can't stand them. At first, when I first discovered this band, I'm like, this is pretty sick. It's pretty technical, pretty crazy. And the more I listen to them, the more it's just like, you're just being technical for the sake of being technical and for just being extreme and showing off. And it's just, the songwriting is not there anymore. And, I picked up Entity and I picked up Omnipresent, their new album, and it's just not clicking with me. And live, it just was not clicking with me either. It was literally, I hate to be that type of person, but it just sounded like they were making a bunch of fucking noise. And their guitars are just like, and the drums are like, and they're like, for like fucking 25 minutes. I don't know. It's just, maybe I just was not in the mood to hear something that absolutely batshit crazy. I just wish they were a little bit more organized or something. Just my opinion, of course. I know they really, the crowd was really, really into them. So I know a lot of people dig Origin, and just because I don't dig Origin, doesn't mean, you shouldn't like Origin. If you like them, fucking support them. Just not my cup of tea. And, I was kind of excited to see him, but then, like I said, I feel the more I listen to him, the more I'm just like, this really isn't my thing. So, I'm not going to say too much else. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure if you saw Origin before and you dig them, they probably put on a great show. I know they played the song All Things Dead. That's the only song I recognized. I can't tell you what else they played. Who's next? Goatwhore. Goatwhore was one of the best bands of this show. Goatwhore was just phenomenal. They played 3 or 4 new songs. They played Bearing Teeth for Revolt. They played Fucked by Satan. They opened it up with the first track off their new record, Constricting Rage and the Merciless. I always fucking get it mixed up. It's Poisonous in the track name. But they played that song, and they played one more off of that, I believe. Then they played An End to Nothing. Of course, ending with Apocalyptic Havoc, which is a great song to end with. And they played, what's that song? Alchemy of the Black Sun Cult, or something like that. I'll correct myself in the description. They were tight, but I have one problem with them. The drums were way too loud, and the guitars weren't loud enough. You know, so like raise this one a little bit and turn this shit down a little bit, and you have the perfect fucking sound, because the vocals had enough punch to them, and so did the bass. But it's just like, I wish I could have heard Sammy a little bit better. But other than that, they were just fantastic. They really got the crowd moving and everything, the circle pits going. And the thing I like about Goatwhore is they don't give no fucks. They start, they don't have an intro, and they just pulverize you until their set time is up. And that's how it was. And the thing I saw them in 2012 at SummerSlam. I was like, man, I still can't get into this band. And I tried and I'd say in the past few months it just really clicked with me about Goatwhore. And I was just like, yes, riffs, heaviness, this is awesome. What the hell is wrong with me? And I feel the same way live. I'm like, man, they put on a really good show. I bet if I could go back in time, still had the same interest, and saw them in 2012, I'd be like, fuck, they were fantastic. And so I kind of regret, not enjoying them more in 2012. But in 2014, they were top notch. I mean, the vocals were just awesome. I mean, they're so pissed off live, and you could tell by all their expressions, they're just like, fuck everything, and it's great. They have a lot of energy. They move around. They get the fist pumping. They get the circle pits going. They had huge fucking pits, and so they just put on a great show. And I would like to see them more. I'd like to see them play more songs. I thought they played a fantastic set, but there's more songs that I want to hear from them, such as Carving Out the Eyes of God, or Collapse and Eternal Worth, or When Steel and Bone Meet. There's so many songs I want to hear from Goatwhore live, and so I definitely want to see them more. And I thought they put on a fantastic show. They would have just had the mix a little bit better. They would have been so much better. But they were one of the highlights of the day to me. Just riffs and just thrashiness, and that's why I will always think that, thrash metal is the best. I'm not saying Goatwhore is pure thrash metal, they're more of a blackened thrash band. But, that shit's the best live. It's just, it translates amazing. And, yeah, Goatwhore was great. Who is next? Thy Art Is Murder. Holy fucking shit. I'm not the biggest, deathcore guy as I used to be, say, 3-4 years ago. I'm not even into this band as much as a lot of other people are. I own their album Hate, and I think it's a good album. I think the earlier stuff kind of blows ass, but Hate is a pretty heavy album, and god damn, has this band just blown up, I feel. They first toured over here on Summer Slaughter 2013. They opened that tour, and they blew the shit out of that place. And I was like, fuck, I was surprised this many people got into them after a headlining tour over here, and a tour with Amir, and they might have even done something else. I don't even know. this band has gotten so big, and you could tell a lot of people were at this show just for them. As soon as they came on, they just really, really, really had the crowd going. And they're heavy live. They're disgusting live. Their vocalist just, he gets so brutal and gross live. It's great. And you know, you look at those guys and you're like, man, these guys don't really look like they'd play in a really fucking heavy, you know, deathcore band, but they do, and it's awesome. When they played, you know, Reign of Darkness, Whore to a Chainsaw, I don't really like that song, but it really got people going. Laceration, Penetration. Trying to say that really fast, a million fucking times. And mostly the purest strain of hate really, really got people going. I was like, holy shit, I didn't know this many people were in this band. I mean, the whole place was just jumping up and down, and you know, of course, there was the two-step hardcore dancing people in the pit, and you know, I was like, damn, they're so good live, and you know. So even if you don't like them, and you go to a show, say you're really into Born of Osiris, like I said earlier, they're torn with Born of Osiris, and you're like, fuck Thy Art Is Murder, I still think you'll be impressed with them live. And I don't encourage you to, you know, take a huge dump during them or anything, because they just really get everybody going, and they're really good at that, and they put on a high energy, a very quality show, I feel. And they have excellent musicianship live too. Hearing their, you know, listening to the record, I mean, it's the same exact thing live. No shit, they're playing the songs, but it just has the same sound, the same, you know, feeling, and just, it's awesome. And you know, the solos rip live just like they do on the record, you know, especially in Reign of Darkness when it starts off, and you know, there's that very eerie lead, and then you know the breakdown comes in behind it. You know, that just really is so good live, and it has a lot of punch behind it. So I recommend Thy Art Is Murder. I do think they were one of the best bands of the day, and so yeah, they were great. Next was the Faceless, and kind of like Origin. The more I listen to the Faceless, the more I just don't really like them anymore. The more they're just not my thing. And it's not because they're technical. They're definitely not technical in the way Origin is. And going back to Origin, I'm not saying they're not talented. They have a lot of fucking talent. I just wish they would write songs. Anyways. The Faceless, yeah, I don't know. I've just started to lose interest in this band. I think Autotheism is absolutely boring as fuck anymore, and you know, it came out, I was like, this is a great album, this is one of the better albums of the year, and seriously, and I'm being completely honest with you, I'm not just trying to be that guy that hates the Faceless because everyone else likes them. It's just my feeling about them, it's just how I feel anymore. You know, and I've tried more and more and more to listen to that album, and it's just not my cup of tea. Although I will say the 3-part Autotheism movement is still a pretty damn solid album. Like, I love Michael Keane's solo at the end of part 2. It's so good. But you know, as a whole, like songs like Accelerated Evolution, they're just kind of boring to me. Especially the Idealine Reality. You know, it's just kind of just not my thing anymore. I don't know. Maybe they'll put out a new album, you know, in the next few years or something, and it'll completely blow me away, and I'll be like, this album is fantastic. But who knows? And the problem I had with them live, is not that they sounded bad, not that they performed their music bad. I mean, they performed their music top notch in terms of just playing it perfectly. So I mean, I'm not saying they're not a talented band. They're probably one of the most talented bands in death metal. It's just live, they're kind of boring. They looked so disinterested, in like they just did not want to be there, and they're just like, all right, guys, let's get this fucking show over with. You know, like, I don't want to play anymore. Especially Michael Keane. Like, he just comes off as a very cocky person live, and just like, look at me, and I don't want to fucking be here. I'm too good for all of you. Watch me play my solos. Yeah. I think there was one moment where he actually showed, like, he actually kind of like bobbed his head and or head banged or something. I was like, whoa. Mine was blown. The singer showed a lot of energy. I just wish the rest of the band would have shown as much energy as him. He was really trying to get the crowd into it. And I felt like, after Die Hard is Murder, here's all this energy, and then, everybody just kind of stood around and watched the Faceless. That's kind of what happened in 2012 as well. And it's just, I wish they all showed as much energy as the singer. So I give him props. Although, I must say, the best part about this band is Evan Brewer. He is a very great bassist. He's one of the best bassists in metal today. And he's very intriguing to watch. But, I was not my thing. Just not really into the Faceless as much as I used to be, or at all anymore. But in terms of the set list, they opened up with an Autopsy. They played Accelerated Evolution, Eidolon Reality, Cold Calculated Design, Ancient Covenant, Xenochrist. I might be missing another song or two, but I mean, they performed a lot of songs that people really dig. So there you go. If you like the Faceless, continue to listen to them, continue to support them. Next was Dying Fetus, and I think Dying Fetus was probably the highlight of the entire day. In terms of pure energy, no band on this entire show had the crowd going as much as Dying Fetus did, and it's almost, especially when Morbid Angel came on, it's just like Dying Fetus literally wiped the entire crowd and literally just kicked their ass. Because, in terms of energy, as soon as they came on, as soon as that guitar started, the crowd went fucking apeshit. They opened up with In the Trenches. They also played From Womb to Waste. Praise the Lord. They ended with that. They played One Shot, One Kill. Your Treachery Will Die With You. That was awesome. I haven't seen Dying Fetus since Summer Slaughter 2011. So this was probably the band I was looking forward to the most, because in 2011 they just had so much energy and was like fucking awesome, and they're so heavy live, and they're so perfect live. I mean, you listen to Dying Fetus and there's those moments where they just bust to a very heavy guitar riff, and there's just this kind of groove to the drums, and you just headbang, and those moments, and they usually had them once or twice every song. But live, they're just so good. I mean, it was just so cool just looking around. Just everybody is fucking bombing their head and moving, and like they had the energy there. Vocally, they were perfect. I think John, I forget his name. This is bothering me. I will once again correct myself in the description. Him and the bassist fucking rule live, and the way they trade off is just fantastic, and they really just work great, and just watching some of the riffs being played are just once again awesome. I love the riff in Praise the Lord. That was a great riff to hear live. Overall, I think they played a fantastic set. Just a ton of energy from the crowd, ton of energy from the band. The Faceless should take note. And it was just aggressive and awesome and heavy. And it's everything that I wanted out of Summer Slaughter, all in Dying Fetus. And it was great. I just feel I would see this band over and over and over again if I could. I've missed them on many tours that came around. Just because of other shows around that time, not having the money, not just circumstances, and so I'm just very glad that I was able to see them again, and they were top notch. I highly recommend seeing them because they'll put on one of the best shows and one of the most chaotic shows I think you'll ever see. In terms of songs, I wish they would have played subjected to a beating, I absolutely adore that song. Or Descend into Depravity would have been awesome to hear. There's other ones, but other than that, other than those two songs, you know, they played a great set. Or something, Grotesque Impalement would have been awesome to hear. They didn't play Kill Your Mother, Rape Your Dog, whatever that song is. They didn't play that. But, anyways, Dying Fetus ruled. Probably my favorite band of the day. Ending the show was Morbid Angel. I feel one of those bands that just seems perfect to headline Summer Slaughter. And they played a fantastic set. And they played just old material. They played like one song off of Heretic. They played Immortal Rites and Maze of Torment off Altars of Madness. They played Fall from Grace and Days of Suffering off of Blessed Are the Sick. They played a lot off of Covenant since they just did the 20th anniversary tour. They played Rapture, God is Emptiness, A World of Shit, Blood on My Hands. I feel like I'm missing maybe one that they played off of that. They played Where the Slime Lives. They played Curse the Flesh. Trying to think. They did play one song off of Lewd, Invidious, Insanus, whatever that piece of pile of steaming shit is. They played, I don't even know the fucking name of the song, but it's it's probably the best song on the album, to be honest with you. I was just surprised they had enough balls to play anything off that album, but hey, I'm not them. But in terms, if you just wanted to see Morbid Angel play old shit live, there it was. And it just felt so old school. It just felt, and I wasn't around when Morbid Angel started, but it just had more of a, older feeling to it. And it's a feeling that I can't describe to you. It's something that you just gotta see. Like, when I see Cannibal Corpse, I just feel, it just feels different. It feels more like an old, legendary band in front of me playing. Kind of like, same with, say, Metallica or Megadeth or Slayer or something like that. You get the same feeling. Morbid Angel were fantastic. I thought vocally they were top notch. And they even added some interesting things, such as, I believe, is it Immortal Rites? There's one kind of break in the middle and they added like a oh. And I was like, that's kind of cool. But the guitar work was awesome. They still had that Morbid Angel sound. I think that's the best thing because Morbid Angel has a sound that cannot be replicated, period, in metal. I mean, I listen to God is Emptiness, and I'm like, this is one of the heaviest fucking things I've ever heard in my life. Like, that guitar is just so chuggy and so gross sounding, and it's great. And all their, first 4 records just had this very gross sound, and it's awesome. And no band has been able to even come close to having a sound similar to that in my eyes. And hearing that sound live is just like, yes, this is great. They had the singer pretty much had a very interesting segue into every single song, where he somehow could sneak in the title of the song in there, and then they bust into the song, and it was like, this is awesome. I just feel that I didn't enjoy them as much as I wanted to because I was so fucking tired, and I was up till 4 in the morning the night before, and I'm just like, I'm pooped, man. But, I want to see them again so bad because, I kind of feel bad. But they were so good. The more I think about it, more I look back, I'm like, Morbid Angel killed it, and they were great. And I mean, even if you're pissed that they put out that steaming pile of shit a couple years ago, I do recommend going to see them live. I mean, they play all the old stuff that you want to hear. I mean, it was so awesome to hear Where the Slime Lives, one of my favorite Morbid Angel songs, and just hearing that riff, the crowd kind of had some energy. You could tell everybody was tired, and it's not like people were like, what the fuck is this band? Fuck these guys. They were just tired. But, Where the Slime Lives, just hearing that kind of groove and awesomeness in that riff is just, It was so good. World of Shit, Rapture. It was great to hear. So every song they played was great to hear. I would have maybe liked to hear a little bit more from Altars of Madness, um, be, because that's probably my second favorite Morbid Angel album behind Covenant. I'm that guy. But they were so good. I'd see him again. So Summer Slaughter 2014 as a whole was fantastic. The tour is pretty much over. So if you went, tell me your thoughts. Tell me what bands you enjoyed, who you didn't enjoy, anything. Tell me everything about your Summer Slaughter experience. Also, I want to thank the people that came up to me and personally said, I watch you and I'm subscribed to you. I really, really thank you. It's people like you that keep me going, keep this channel going, and keep us interested in, doing this type of stuff. So it's always very humbling when someone comes up to me and says, hey, I watch your videos, I really support what you do. And so thank you for those who came up to me. I should have got your name, and I very much apologize for that. But anyways, I don't know what else to say. I can't wait till 2015. Hopefully it's great. See you later. Bye-bye.